Hi everyone, we're live, and hi Nick. We're so grateful because Nick's actually filled in. Sarah wasn't able to make it today, so Nick, welcome and thank you. And how have you been?
Well, we've just been talking about how I've been hit for a six when it comes to sleep. Last few days, I've just had to lie down and have a sleep. So, but at the moment, I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm just riding the waves up and down. Yeah.
perfectly said. And I think that's what it's about. It's just honouring where we're at on an energetic level that can often affect our physicality and how we feel. So yeah, I've been a little bit like that too. I just feel that there's something coming through that's quite new and quite different. So yeah, but it's interesting times. That's I think that's all I'll say today. It's interesting times. So so yeah, so today I thought what we'd do is again look at synchronicities. So if something's happening in your dream, does something then present itself in real life so that we actually get almost like a clarification or some sort of clarity around what the message that's coming through for us is. And I had some beautiful dreams sent in. So, Lady Hook's on. Hello, darling. And I had some great dreams sent in around this, which is awesome. So, and actually, Nick, can we start with yours, because it was a little bit of a flow on from last week where we all did the get together in the ethers and and sort of asked people, well, what sort of experience did you have or what do you remember from it? So I've got yours here. So where are we? I'll go right back actually because you've got a couple in here. So all right, we'll start with this one. So do you want to read that out and then?
Yeah, certainly. I just want to say a quick hello to Sarah as well, and I hope to see you soon. Okay, yeah, this seems weird reading out my dream, but it is much easier because I don't remember them. Otherwise, I will have to go back and trigger the vision in my head of it. But yes, this was a vision, very quick, and I did have that intention again of meeting everybody, and it happened really quick. It's like I don't have to wait and I fall into it's just like straight into it. So I put out the intention, and this is what I got. Standing in an orchard, looking down a very long path with trees on either side. So I looked at my own decode of this when I woke, and basically an orchard represents growth, as in fruit, etc. Order is the pathway. The garden is a result of all the work you do and you're growing and you're learning, expansion. The fruit is reaping what you've sown, the fruits of a labour. And I wondered, I sort of sensed that there was some energy around me, but I thought, is this a group message or is this an individual message?
That's a really, really good question as well. So I think I might even have a look at the cards with that. So, we've got Triggle on and Kathleen's on. So yeah, because our intention was for us all to meet, and for me, I know it was definitely a group, and it was a really strong group. So I might actually just check with the cards to see if what you had was actually a group message, because I know I learn a lot, and from just even having like all these beautiful people together here, I learn a lot from it. I don't know, and so maybe it is. Let's see if we can get anything. I mean, what's your initial feeling, Nick?
When I first woke up, I thought, oh, this is my group message. This is the intention I put out. And then I thought, oh, this feels very individual as well. But then I'm thinking, are the two really separate? Perhaps that's what the lesson was.
And I'm so glad you said that, because we had an amazing dream, I think, from Niobe. And it talks about that. So there's already the synchronicity starting to come through here. So yeah, which is really interesting. Yeah, temperance. So to me, this is temperance is about, yes, there's a change happening, which is exactly what you were getting from your dream anyway. But having patience emotionally is what I get with the beautiful temperance card. Now let me just have a look here. I think you're spot on. That Two of Cups has come up. So for me, this is always around working together in a relationship, colluding with someone. I feel it was for you, but it's also for all of us. Mm-hmm. So which makes sense, doesn't it? Because like you say,
completely, yes.
Yeah, one of us, is and is the same as everyone at the end of the day anyway. And then you got the Hanged Man. So to me, this is often about having patience, waiting, stopping, settling in, letting go. And when a tree is producing fruit, it takes time. So yes, it's a surrendering process as well to the whole thing. So
and knowing that it's inevitable, eventually what's going to happen in that cycle. It's for some reason we get really impatient about our own lives, yet we look out to nature and it's always the teacher.
Always, and
what they're doing.
Absolutely spot on, and it's so true. And I'm going to actually go to Niobe's dream because it's so connected into what you're saying about nature, about there being the timing of it all, about us being all connected. So I just found this was really, really beautiful. And Kathy's on. Hi, Kathy. Okay, where are we? That's up here. There's always a synchronicity, isn't there? Okay. Where it is. I'll have to actually start. I'm going to start at the beginning with this one. Okay, so this is from Niobe.
Hi, Niobe. Okay, epic one-on-one battle using elemental forces. The being used its force to break glass and attack me. I defended with water vapor shield. I tried to fly away and was swirling my hands in an outward circular toroidal motion, and then I turned into a dragon. Whoa.
It's such a cool dream. And then Niobe actually did a really good comment on this.
Yeah. When I woke, I thought, wow, that was very Airbender type dream, referencing a movie series that came out 14 years ago.
And just there, I didn't put it in because I had to cut down. She hadn't seen the series either, just out of interest.
Right, yeah. And the very next evening, I noticed a new series on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
The Last Airbender. Okay, coincidence? That night I watched the first episode and saw the very same symbol I was drawing in my notebook earlier that day. Wow. That's amazing. Yes.
I know.
I know.
The energy with that is really huge. And this is why it's so much fun to really start noticing things in life, because the messages are there for us. So I just think that's amazing. But I'm going to keep going because it really relates back as well to your dream.
That night I dreamt I was in an ancient Asian kingdom, and just before I woke, I was sitting outside at a table with monks who felt like guides or teachers. One kept repeating the same thing to me. Be like the Buddha, be like the monk, be like the spider, and be like the ants. Repeat.
And then Niobe's also given us a comment.
I sat with this for a few days, as ants can be a pest. But this was different. I asked about this and got, we are individuals, but we also are one. I felt all of nature in my garden was responding here to support us. We are individuals, but part of the Great Spirit. Spot on. No way. I know I'm in sync with Niobe with a lot of our dreams. I see that it comes up regularly. And the fact that I started, and I haven't read this, is the first time I'm reading it. That is mind-blowing for me. Yes. So I feel we all get these messages together at the same time in subtle ways. You really got a great one though there.
That was amazing, Niobe. And and it's so interesting because I just watched that on Netflix too, and I just loved it. I was so connected in with the elemental aspects and, everything that was going on. So it's really interesting, isn't it, when we get drawn to watch particular things, and it could be around a similar time frame as well. So no, and the fact that you started having that dream before you even realized it had come up as a new series, it's pretty amazing. But I love how yours, Nick and Niobe have actually connected with all the elements, with the garden, with everything, with being one. Is this for me or the group? It's brilliant. Yeah.
It is.
So you can't make this stuff up. And guys, no one sees each other's dreams. I'm the one that gets all the emails. I'm the only one. And I actually didn't put it together until Nick was reading her dream. And I went, hang on, this sounds familiar.
Oh, it is. It's so quite cool. Incredible. It really is. And what it does is it reinforces the message even more for us when we see that synchronicity. The synchronicity is that is the signal again to say this is what this meant, and it's even more important because someone else has experienced it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and Kathleen had a question for you. Do you want to read that out for us?
I know. What kind of orchard, and do you remember? I didn't because I think I went straight into the focus of the meaning of it. And sometimes I've learned not to delve too deeply into the dream if that's the case, because I might be missing the point of what it was all about, whatever the metaphor was. It's hard because if I say it now, it could be something that's I'm created in my mind afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
But I did sort of the memory, the first one that came in for some reason was a plum.
A plum, yep, yep. Well,
even though I didn't see them.
Yeah, but the feeling of it. And I think this is a really important point to talk about as well. Sometimes our clairsentience or our clear feeling is just as important as these two babies here. You know, our eyesight. It to me, that can often be even clearer. You know, you don't have to decipher through. So I would just trust what we get. So I would trust that, Nick, if you would say, I'm feeling plum. So what does a plum mean? If we look at the different fruit, what would a plum mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, straight away you think of the colour of a fruit.
Yes.
And where that connects down. And because that's down in the lower sort of chakra area as well, it's that sense of grounding. And I guess if I went the full loop, I mean, that's where it all starts. This is where the orchard and the growth starts from, is right at a foundation level. And it's not to forget, we can all be up here all the time, but don't forget where our roots are. They're not disconnected. They go back again and again into this. And it's funny how I think in Naomi's dream, she talked about the toroid in that, which makes me think about that shape again. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, that's probably the only thing that I got with it at the time.
Yes, yeah. So, but I mean, and to me, plums are luscious. Like they only come out at a certain time of the year, whereas apples you can usually
seasonal.
Get. Yes, so it's seasonal.
Yes.
So there's another aspect to it as well, which is really fascinating. And the same with you know, with Niobe's dream as well, like mastering the elements and working with the elemental energy. And it's interesting, Niobe, because I've had a dream like that too, where I went, I can walk, I know I can master air, I can walk through anything. And I was actually walking through solid objects. And you know, so I really feel that it's actually showing us that, or we're mastering and almost doing like a test that yes, we can do this. So I don't know. I've got a feeling that that's also what you were doing, was really tuning into your gifts and talents, and we do it in another realm. It's almost like we go into another dimension to actually play with that when we're sleeping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's exciting, isn't it?
It is exciting. And then you get the confirmation with the, you know, Avatar, the next Airbender on Netflix. So thank you for sharing that. And I loved that you actually did some decoding with that for yourself as well. And I love that you actually stopped and pondered and actually took a few days and just sat and allowed the answers and the messages to come for you. So, and that's what this is all about. It's all about, we don't have to have it right there and then. Sometimes then it actually makes the day more fun because things can pop in when you've asked a question about your dream or about whatever's going on in your life. So
yeah, well done. That was excellent.
Yeah, that was really good. Really loved that. So, and we have got a dream from Kathleen B. But what I'll do is I've got a few little questions here. So we'll just start with this one.
Kathleen. Hi, Kathleen. I saw an old movie, started watching the new series. I had a question for the cards. Jasper, if us humans on Earth would really be capable of the powers in that show, or is that another dimensional type powers?
Okay. Okay. Let me just. So there's two things on here. So with this one, Kathleen. So I'm presuming, Kathleen, can you just clarify if we're talking about the Airbender series? Would you be able to pop that in for us? Because obviously they're using every single power. And yes, thank you. So regarding the last Airbender, fantastic. So Kathleen, I want you to answer this first. I want you to tell me what your initial intuitive response is to this question. And then we can go deeper into it if you like. But yeah, So all of you, actually, I want whoever's watching now live, pop in what your first initial response was when Kathleen's question was being read out, because I think it's really important that we really start to trust our intuition and trust what we get. It's like a muscle, and the more we use it, the more we trust it, then the bigger it gets. So we're not going to say anything until we get a few answers up. So so I'll wait for that one, but we can actually, what we can do, I love it. We've got one up here. So Kathleen has said, yes, I think we could. Yeah.
And can I just say that whole synchronicities, I've heard someone talk about it as like a Morse code. And that's what you said, Marie, about learning. Like it's practice. It's like a muscle. The muscle memory is how we often learn. So the more you tune in to what message you're getting, the messages become clearer and clearer and clearer. And suddenly, at first, Morse code seemed really clunky. And now it's for the people that do it all the time and operate it, they can do it really quickly and interpret information very quickly.
Tune in. You're spot on. Yeah. That's a really good analogy. So, and Lady Hawk's actually given us some feedback too.
Oh, I'm a martial arts instructor. You would be amazed at what energy is out there. Yes.
Oh yeah, if you're working at that level, Lady Hawk, yes, I agree with you. You would probably see a lot more too. Same thing, you've trained so much to have your body and your mind and your energy field working together. You would truly, see that. So that's amazing. And Trigals.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So, I love this, guys. It's like, and as soon as we start saying yes to God, to the universe, what happens? Things start to change and shift and move and grow. So, yes. And I personally think, no, yes, absolutely. I've done it. I mean, we've all done it. You know, you can play with energy in your hands. Like you can actually have the intention and create a ball of energy. You can open your heart chakra and you can send love to someone and they will feel it. They will get that hit. So if we can do that just on this little level, we are powerful. Imagine when we actually open up enough what we truly can do. So, Nick, what are your thoughts?
Well, actually, I hadn't seen the series, and I think it was some of my students had actually, young ones were excited about it. They had a book and were reading the book, and I thought, I went home and the one that drew me the most, I thought, which airbender? There's so many. It's like this anime sort of thing. Yeah. And I thought, it's the Airbender. That's the one I want to watch. That's the one I sort of felt there was an attunement with. So if I think about that, for me, like once again, it's for me. It's not necessarily for this is why I have to preface everything I say is not necessarily an imprint for someone else. It's just what it means for me, because I know that meant something to me straight away, because I've had dreams where I have been able to just walk through glass windows and walls without there being doors there, quite effortlessly, and not even questioning it until after, when I wrote the dream down. And I thought, well, did I really do that? I possibly could have. So, yeah, and I'm experimenting more with little things about the energy. Even in, I had a bit of just an instant weird pain in my hand the other day. So I thought, well, if I'm truly going to start believing these things, I should start doing it and seeing. So I put my hand over that area and I just concentrated my energy, which is what Reiki practitioners do. And there's so much healing going on out there, alternate healing now. And it was incredible. It was like I was watching inside. I could see the energy, which is usually, obviously not visible. And it worked. And I thought, wow. So I'm just practicing it now. I'm doing all sorts of little funny things. Why not? What have you got to lose? Once again, embrace the inner child, give it a go, because that's what we're tapping back into.
Oh, I think that's so beautifully said. It's so true. And it is, when we focus on our body, often it's either trapped energy or it's energy that wants to express, and it can express through our physical body. So just noticing it and actually not getting mad at it. Oh, why have I got this pain here? But instead tuning into it, exactly what Nick has just talked about. It's beautiful. And it was interesting because I just pulled some cards as you were talking, and the first one that came up was strategy, which to me is 7 of Swords. So this is, what are we going to let go of? What are we going to change in our mind to create a balance? So I think that is perfect. And then Justice came up. So we have to, I feel for me, I have to truly own that I am this amazing electromagnetic divine being that has elements to work with. I am made up of elements. So bringing that into balance with that Justice card and knowing that. And then I love this card, 10 of Pentacles. This is the abundance card. So to me, this means we all have these abilities, and it's only going to enhance us and to make us love life more and love ourselves more and feel more abundant. So I think those cards are just perfect as well with what you were just saying. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. So it's interesting. It's but Kathleen B's put something up which is interesting as well.
Kathleen says, I learned to fly in a dream once, was told how to do it in the physical body, but woke up and forgot to write it down.
Kathleen, you could have changed the world.
You're not ready just yet to be flying around.
Yeah, maybe not physically. Can you imagine all the bad flying drivers? That's crazy. I know, it's interesting, isn't it, when we do get messages like that in a dream and then you forget to write it down and it is gone, but you know it's possible. So I think that's what it's about, isn't it? It's like the seeds are being planted. Of course it's possible. So that's a really cool dream to have. So, yeah. So in your dream, were you, Kathleen, were you flying in your dream itself? Because I know ever since I was a child, I've actually had flying dreams. And I would go to all these places and I didn't even know what they were at the time. And it wasn't till later I'd go back and I'd go, oh, that's where I used to come. It's London. Like, so, because then I realised Big Ben and all these things as I got older. So it'd be interesting to know if you actually, in the dream, if you were flying. But yeah, as well. So yeah. And do you have flying dreams, Nick? Is that something you do?
Oh my gosh, I have so many dreams that have got flying in them, whether I'm in a physical flying vehicle or it's just me flying over in places. But I always, do you remember a show growing up? Depends on the age group here. It was called The Flying Nun, and it had Sally Field in it. And I was obsessed with that show because she could fly, and she always put a hand on her head on top of whatever that piece is that nuns wear. And she used to do this, and then that would be enough to get her off the ground. And she'd use this ground part, and she would always be flying in this show. And I used to always relate to that. I thought, well, it's possible. It must be possible. So yes, I do have a lot of flying dreams, and having experienced 20 years in a flying career really made me connect more with the heaven.
Yeah, of course. So you were actually like in a plane. Were you was that your career? Yeah. Wow. Of course it does. Well, it would in a way, because you're always constantly in the air or in, that ether aspect almost. Wow. So it's fascinating. Now I remember, Kathleen, as well. I remember sometimes I knew I could fly in my dream, but I'd be running and like trying to get a takeoff. I was going, oh, what is it? And I'd have to really concentrate sometimes to get up to fly. It was the weirdest feeling because I knew I could do it usually easily. So I was obviously having a lucid dream, trying to either take off or fly, but sometimes it was a lot harder than others, which is really fascinating.
Yeah, it is. It is. Kathleen said, yes, I do have dreams of being above cities, but this dream, I was above the trees in my yard and someone was telling me how to do it when I woke up.
Oh, wow. You could have been wealthy, Kathleen, if you'd written that one down. But, it's interesting, isn't it, with the new technology that, we all sort of have a sense, maybe, or I have a sense that could be coming out. And the fact that they're actually we're going to be taught more about magnetics and, our electromagnetics of our body and what's gravity again. I think it's going to be really interesting. I don't think it's going to be too long before we're actually going to be able to do this stuff and it's going to feel normal. Whether we have a suit on to start with magnets or some sort of propulsion field. Yeah, I feel that this consciousness is really allowing us to come into a whole new way of knowing. Because once the truth comes out, that's it. It's like the old will be done and we can go into this whole new world. So be interesting, Kathleen, to see how we end up flying is actually what you got told in your dream. Oh my goodness, look at that.
Yes, it had something to do with magnetics.
How funny. I just was seeing it all, and I went, oh, it's going to be so easy. It's almost like you put these little magnetics on your feet and you're off, and that's it. Like then you have, so fascinating.
And we are electromagnetic beings. That's what our mind and our heart does. One is magnetic, one is electric, and the combination of the two working together. I mean, if anyone sort of says, oh, this is nonsense, I said, well, you can actually look at the laws of physics and how that works. And once again, I always think about that when I watch a bee flying or an insect or a dragonfly. And I think, how, like the planes that we've had, they replicate these animals. And, and I always question it as well. And I think, well, was it? I don't know,
Yeah.
I'm open to everything right now. And, I have a lot of dreams where I'm just scooting across the top of the grass. Just my feet are only a very short distance. And it's fantastic. I can get to places really quickly, and it's just so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm just navigating around and having, it's like a sport. Becomes like a sport initially. Yeah, I'm looking
absolutely, and it's like what those kids use now. I mean, my friends' kids have got them, and it's like they're on air, but they're on a scooter. So, and it's all about your weight and your balance and everything. But it's literally you are on an air scooter, like it's crazy. So that's Kathleen. Yeah.
Like when you put two negative magnetics together and they push apart, something like that, but I don't know what. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And hoverboards, thank you. Yeah, it is. And it's amazing to watch them. And you're going, well, you know what? If it's already out there, it is in a way already out there. And they bring it in maybe as a toy, and then it becomes more and more acceptable. So I reckon watch this space. I think it's going to be pretty cool what actually does come out. Yeah. And once we see it, then our body goes, well, we can do that too. So this is where I feel these are the stepping stones for us to move into being able to do it through our own body once we know the truth of Earth. So,
and I know for a fact in my own body, and I've had people around me where I've watched this happen, where I think you mentioned once, Marie, to bring that energy back in, where I was just giving off so much energy that all the appliances in my house would just stop. They just stopped working. Now, everything I touched, and then a couple of days later, everything returned back to normal again. And it wasn't just one thing. And I thought, this is crazy. I can't afford to replace all of these appliances. And then the big one was when I had the light bulbs explode.
Oh, I know. I've had that happen.
Surge came through. So I'm thinking we've got so much energy in our bodies. We have to learn though, that's what I realized with it, how to contain it and how to manage it. And you don't want to put someone behind a plane or a bubble vehicle that floats in the air until they've learnt how to use their own energy first.
I love that. That is so true. And you're right. People will notice, oh, I'm getting zapped all the time, when you get the electrostatic, and I touch wood, that hasn't happened to me in years now, I think. And I feel it's because you're right, because we can be very aware of our own energy field. Am I balanced? Where's my energy at? It's like my chakras. I don't even have to check into my chakras anymore. I just know. It's like, just know. That's all good. Yeah. And this is the thing I do that helps me the most is those meridian points. If I'm feeling a little bit scattered, I just do this and breathe back, bang, into balance. So simple. So these are the major meridian points here, just underneath the collarbones before the first rib. And they can often be quite tender if we're out of balance. So if you're feeling a bit wonky or a bit lightheaded or whatever, just sit, just push into them quite firmly and breathe. Honestly, changes my day.
It's funny you say that, Marie. When I was flying, if there were passengers on the plane that were having panic attacks or something, because fear of flying or whatever, I would just go up and talk to them and I would press on their body here. The same thing. It's amazing. Yeah. And that would feel tender for them. They go, oh, and so their focus is coming back. Yeah.
And then did that help them calm down?
Yeah, it really did. It really
amazing,
did.
isn't it? Yeah. So look, and they're so simple, these basic little things that we can do. And it's something I do nearly every day. And it just, it's like, that's better. I'm back. So yeah. But wow. And I want to go to your other dream. There was another dream as well. Actually, this one was from Kathleen. I'm going to do Kathleen's dream. Okay, this was a cool dream as well.
Okay, I was cleaning dirty white walls with tall rectangular windows, not cleaned in years. One was by the entry door, walked to the water fountain outside, lots of little kids waiting in line. I walked by my grandma's apple tree that was just a stump now. I lived there after she died. I cut in front to clean the rag, and a little boy named John was next in line. Taller girl stepped forward like she was going to cut in front of John. She held a hand out to show me a pink clay mould with fairy woman. I said, "Oh, that's neat, and I see the face is Yoda." I said, "Okay, John, your turn." Rather forcefully, and pushed him forward and the girl back. I went back to clean the front window and tore off dirty lace curtains, saw out the window. Doctor's house from the TV show House was coming to the hospital in his Porsche. I was looking around the parking garage and knew there wasn't parking for him. And though, oh well, at least he can park outside in the doctor's spaces, and went back to cleaning.
So I'll also pop before we start looking at this, I'll pop the comment up that Kathleen put up as well.
She said, "I have an older brother named John and my son is named John, but I knew the spelling of the boy in the dream was with a H. It didn't look like my brother, but the girl reminded me of my sister. At that age, 10-ish in attitude. The white window by my front door looked like a window in my old house from 25 years ago, but wasn't the same house in the dream."
Interesting. So I mean, straight up for me, I'm getting that there's a something that's actually been changed and shifted for you, Kathleen, and it could be old, it could be something that happened in this lifetime back, around that time frame, because there's a house reference. So, but we'll go back to basics. So, so do you want to start with what you were getting straight away as well?
Well, cleaning straight away says you're cleaning your vessel, you're cleaning things out, you're having to release and let go of whatever it is, ideas, beliefs, cords, attachments. And the white is the purity, what you're sort of striving to be back to, that nice clean slate. And tall rectangular windows. I mean, windows are the eyes, as they say, windows are the eyes to the soul. It's what's possible, it's what out there. But they weren't cleaned in years. So it's the same reference point, getting rid of all this, the unclearness, I would say.
Yeah, and window is the ability to see beyond a given situation as well. So expanded vision and perception, and the window to the other side, interdimensional awareness. And a house without windows is a prison. So yeah, so you're not in a prison. You actually have that ability to see through. So wow.
And with an entry door, obviously it's meaning that that's your way out or your way in. It's giving you the sort of the pathway to follow.
Absolutely, yeah. And then the fact that you walked out to a fountain outside, the water, the emotional aspect, and lots of little kids waiting in line. So yeah, that's an interesting one, isn't it? So is that the inner child that then is waiting on an emotional level, because they're waiting in line around that fountain where the water is, the emotion is. I don't know. What's your thought with that one, Nick?
I would like to ask Kathleen what she gets with that one.
I love it. Great idea. Yeah, because when it's sort of spoken back to you, sometimes it can give us an aha moment or some clarity or a deeper knowing. I like that. That's great. So Kathleen, my love, you're up. And this is why I'm saying to you guys, if you feel like I'd love to get someone on with us and on the live, and we can talk through your dream and have other people pop things in that get brought up for them. And that interactive would I think be so beneficial, so that we can look at things from such a different perspective. So guys, don't be shy. Just if you want to pop on, So easy. I just send you a StreamYard link and then you can just pop on. And you only have to stay for 5 minutes if you want. And even if you want to just not have your face up, you can do that too. Just to have that interaction would be so lovely. So, yeah. So Kathleen, I wonder if she's still on. Yeah, what was your intuition with that? So she hasn't popped anything up, so she may not still be on. But yeah. So little kids to me, yeah, because it's not coming up with anything. Little kids to me. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Yes, thank you, Kathleen. She said, yes, I forgot the water emotion angle. So if they were my siblings, maybe I'm still in the young stage emotionally. Mm.
Yeah, and you know what? It could be something that maybe just needs a little bit of nurturing. Like it could be that inner child that needs nurturing. And the fact, I'm going to go back up, the fact that the girl who was 10, so did something happen, when you were even that age, or is that an aspect of you that is now, I don't know, is becoming emotionally stronger. So I want to go back to that because that was really, because you cut in front of them to clean your rag, to do some cleaning. So that this is really interesting, this little bit here. Do you want to just read that again?
Yeah, so she cut in front of John. She held out to show me a pink clay mould, fairy woman. And I said, oh, that's neat. And I see the face is Yoda. I said, okay, John.
Your turn.
Your turn.
And interesting, because Yoda is seen as a wise one, right? Yoda is seen as, and the pink, the fact it was pink, that's the feminine. And the fact it was a fairy woman. So there's this intuitive, feminine, childlike aspect within you that actually wants to be seen, that actually wants to come out and play or express itself or find a balance. Yeah, we just got an Ace of Pentacles. Mm-hmm. So, Kathleen, I don't know if do you stop ever and ask that inner beautiful girl or that child, that feminine, what she wants and how she wants to express herself? So that I think that's something that maybe you could do, is take a little bit of time out for you. So instead of looking, I don't know if you're someone that looks after a lot of people, but yeah, that would be, I don't know, that's what I'm getting from that. And yeah, what are you getting, Nick?
Well, the first thing I laughed because when I put this pink T-shirt on today, I thought, I bet there's going to be pink in the comments today. I just know it. As soon as I put it on, I thought, oh, there's going to be something come up for sure. So, yeah, and I think with that colour as well, it is that feeling of love and, holding yourself as that, like you said, that inner child. The pink clay mould is perhaps, remember that we all come from love. That mould to me means that we're coming from a mould of love. The Yoda part of it was interesting because whenever I love how the dreams just go in so many different places and you think, oh, what does this all mean? But you really have to bring it down to each particular thing. And like I said, if I was to read into your dream completely, it would make it about me. I actually feel this is really about you. And there are some things that are happening in you that you're experiencing. And you may not even be fully aware of it. So all those little things that come up in your, and also can I recommend that you go back into your dreams sometimes and say, all right, can you show me a bit more about that aspect of that dream? I didn't really understand it. What did you mean by that? Because you're really just asking your own soul this. So it'll be happily to come in and give you some more metaphors.
I love it. And it's true. And it's so interesting because Kathleen's just said, yes, she's sure you're right about that. And it was the same colour as your shirt. So, Nick, you are in sync. That's fantastic.
And I don't wear pink very often either, might say. It's just something I was really compelled to do this morning.
And it really matches the flowers in that painting in the background.
Yeah, it does.
It's beautiful. It's interesting because I love that. And I think it's really important, like with Niobe Rose, how she was saying, I took a few days and I just stopped and I asked the question and I just allowed it to sort of nurture and brew within me to come up with my insight. I think it's really good. And that's why it's a great idea. Just meditate on it. And you can be doing out in the garden, doing something or walking. You don't have to be sitting to meditate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's beautiful, Kathleen. Um, and then the one thing that I love because is the fact that Dr. House is in the house, and he had his Porsche, and I think for me that sounds like a guide, because I don't know, that's just the interpretation that I tend to have with it. What do you think? I mean, a doctor is also a helper, a healer, a guide, but the fact that it was a famous person.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean, they do come in every now and then, and there's something weird about that house thing as well lately. I literally read something yesterday about that house man,
Oh
the
yeah,
man from that series. And once again, synchronicities.
yeah.
It's like, why did I focus on it? Why did I remember that? And it went through my head again. So, yeah, doctors are people that care for us. They look after us. And the Porsche is a little bit of luxury there in terms of like there's this richness in it all. It might mean security for people, but there's a sort of and also a little bit of a fun element. So I sometimes think that when we have our dreams, they can be really serious. Oh, what is it? What do I have? I need to bring out in my being. And no, sometimes it's good just to relax into them a little bit more and see that there's more beyond what you first think in terms of, I really need to go on and do my inner work. Or maybe I should just have a little bit of fun as well.
Totally. And that's like the flying dreams can be so much fun if you let go and just go with it. But yeah, definitely. It's interesting because the card that just came up then was the Queen of Wands. And to me, this is spot on, Nick, because this is about integrity. What's right for you? That black cat is the intuition. It's all about us personally in our dreams and what we are choosing to experience. Maybe that's something we could focus on. Maybe we could focus on a fun dream. Like, let's ask to have a dream that we literally may be laughing ourselves stupid in the dream. Have you ever done that, Nick? Have you ever asked?
Oh my God, I've had dreams where I've woken up laughing, giggling away, just having so much fun. I think one was I fell off, it was an aero bridge that went nowhere, but I just kept walking and went through the gate and I just fell into this mud pit and I was just laughing and rolling around and all the crew were around me pointing at me and then they all started to join in and it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Wow. So that could be something that we do is have an intention. I want to tap into my fun side, my playful side, whether that's that beautiful childlike side or whether it's the naughty side of us that, I'd love to do that for next week as well. So maybe, guys, that's something we could actually focus on. So, because you've brought it up. You're right. It doesn't always have to be serious. So, yeah, no, I love that. So, and about the John thing, I'm not sure, but obviously John is a powerful a powerful trigger for you because you've got an older brother called John and your son's called John. And even though they're spelt differently, but there's obviously some sort of safety there. That masculine aspect is like a connection that you're safe with. So that's all. I don't know. So I feel that it's pretty straightforward, isn't it? In a way, when you look at it, like like you're saying, Nick, as to what's going on there. But no, that's great. That was a great dream. Thank you for sharing.
Brilliant. Yeah.
And okay, let me just have a check and see what's going on. Yeah, and now we've got Nick. We've got your other dream that you sent to me because you didn't think you were going to be on this morning. All right, where are we? The flood event. Do you want me to read it, Nick, and then you decode it for us, or do you want to read it?
No, let you read it.
Okay,
you read it.
So this is a Nick dream.
Watch me.
It's called the flood event. So outside felt strange seismic movements below my feet. Two of us, a male and female. Started raining and the water was rising, engulfing everything in its path. Ran inside to higher ground, but cars were floating away except mine. People became spectators. I was calm, knowing whatever happens, it will be okay. After the destruction comes reconstruction, a fresh palette. So that's a really big emotional dream, isn't it? The flood dream. So, and I'll just pop it up because Nick, of course, has done her beautiful decode. Do you want to read this part? I think this is good.
And once again, I did sit with it for a while, because the first impression, which I don't get as much as I used to, can send you down a different pathway. Oh, I had this disaster and it was a disaster. And then you sit with it and you think, oh no, how did I feel and what did it mean? And this is what I got. A fast change is coming my way. It's the big flood. Could be emotionally, because it's the water, overwhelming, but I have the ability to stay balanced and on top, which is the term of floating. Learning by observing the actions of others and letting go of old ways of thinking and believing, I think it was, yes, to make way for the new.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's just, and I love that. So you've taken it to the next level. So you've taken it to that next step of, oh, I'm not scared that I'm going to be overwhelmed. There could be something, but I'm aware of it. So, I mean, and you're right. I think it's great just sitting with the dreams. And when they're written down and we can actually get the memory of it back, then we can do that. So take our time with it. So especially something like this. It's beautiful. Yeah.
And I do take that meaning into my daily life as well. I sort of don't just drop the dream there and think, oh, well, that was just another dream and this is what it means. It's about embodying what that message is and practicing it. Like when a situation occurs which seems dramatic, is just observe it. Don't judge it. Don't give it any meaning. Just watch, see what happens and unfolds. Because in that place of calmness, I sort of thought, well, there's all this distraction, but it doesn't really bother me. It didn't mean anything to me. It's not like, oh, but what about all the people's houses and cars? And I just felt that everybody was still okay.
Yeah.
But it was funny that I saw my car just parked in a car park opposite the road, unaffected, just sitting there. And I thought, oh, that's me. That's literally my vehicle. And this is what makes me laugh. And I did have a bit of a giggle in the dream thinking, oh, yeah, that's it. That's what that means to me. And it's exactly what it was. So it's just, learning to come back into center. Of course, things are going to happen in your life, but it's just going, okay, yeah, well, that's that. Oh, and that's that. All right. So they're here to teach us things there. And eventually you find that the balance starts becoming easier all the time. It's not to be affected by the drama that we've been sold to believe in, oh, it has to be bad. And that's why media can be very destructive if you watch it, because it's always focusing on putting more weight on one side.
Yeah.
And I think it's about getting lots of perspectives. And that's what The Spectator was. Everyone's perspective is what actually is the truth, or it is what it is. It's not just one side.
Yeah.
One side is to teach you that there is another side, and eventually you'll probably shift over to the other side. So that's what I got with all the spectators. But I got that over the space of 2 days as well.
Yeah.
Really filling in, plugging the holes a little bit.
And I think, like I said, that's such an important message. And so, so with people, don't panic if you can't get it straight away. I think it's lovely to put it out there. And it's what I do this. I go, oh, okay, God, okay, universe. I'd really like some clarity with that, and I'd like some messages. And today I'd actually like my messages through nature, please. So I actually put out and ask. So then what I'm doing is I'm tuning into nature. And so however it comes to me, I go, okay, yeah, I've got it now. And so it's fun that way too. So, yeah. And sometimes I'll say, if I'm driving a lot that day, I want it through number plates and music, because I'll have my music on, so you can actually ask for a specific way of getting your messages. So, yeah, it's and it becomes fun then, doesn't it?
It sure is, yeah.
So, which is really cool. Yeah. So where are we up to? Let me just have a look. So yeah, if anyone else has got any other synchronicities that they've found have been happening, because we've even today, just in this short period of time, I mean, look at all the synchronicities and the fact that the dreams that were coming through, even pre-show, synchronistic already. It was amazing. And that's what the show is about, what's happening in your dream, that then you're noticing there might be synchronicities or another message for you in your waking time. Is it our waking time or is it our sleeping time? It's funny.
Exactly. So, and talking about synchronicities, I was having a conversation with this the other day and with someone, and I was saying, I sort of haven't been paying attention, because for me, because I'll have a conversation, I go, oh, look at that, 555. You know,
Yeah.
oh, look at there it is again, 555. And, you know, and people say, well, what's that mean? What do you mean? And maybe they're just starting to learn what it means for them in terms of their own synchronicities. And like I said, the more you bring your awareness to the fact that they do exist, that everything has a reason. Everything has a reason in this world for happening for you or through you. So start paying attention, you know, and like even if you over try, eventually you'll swing back to under trying, and then it'll just come naturally. And then you'll think, okay, the next person that's going to be in my around the corner or that I'll see, or, you know, it'll be the person that I was just talking about that I haven't seen for weeks. It could be the numbers. The numbers are quite a good way to start with the clock, or it could be a page on a book, or somebody will be, you know, you'll see it, someone will be wearing it. You know, there's so many different things that it will pop up for you. So, because numbers don't lie.
That's right.
That's just how they are. They're numbers.
Yeah.
So practice
Totally.
with that if you've never sort of thought about what synchronicities are happening in your life. And then, of course, that can then just build more and more and more. And then you get into a real flow where it's just this constant in and out of what it's meant to be without the trying.
And it's so true. It is, again, it's like a muscle, Nick. And I remember once I was going through this very heightened phase of my life, and I had everything going on. I had the clairaudience, the clairvoyance, the clairsentience, even the smell, the clairolfactance. And I remember I was walking through this big department store, and I'd been trying to find this perfume, and I could not remember the name of it for the life of me. And the next minute I could smell it. But I can smell it. So I followed my nose all around all these places, and and then there it was in front of me. So, you know, and then as I was going through there, flashes would come through, like someone would walk past singing something, and those words would then interrelate to a sign I could then see. And I was just going, whoa, it's like when you're in that flow, I was going through huge initiation, huge energetic uplift. I was just going, oh my God, it's like magic. It's like you're on this carpet ride, and
Yes.
everything gets shown to you in its perfection of split milliseconds. It was crazy times. And so I love that stuff. To me, that's life.
Yeah. And the thing I got when I've been in that exact same situation where it's like a carpet ride, and you just, everything's like, oh, wow. And you're not predicting anything. It's just happening in that beautiful flow. And I don't know, I was just like, everyone that would come into your presence was just beautiful. It was like, hi, you know. So I know that there's more behind what all of this. It's not just, oh, that's a synchronicity, there's the chances of that happening, whatever. Now that it brings in a richness, a beautiful richness. And I think that what we need to learn to do is appreciate those little things, because the little things don't have to be, you know, the car crash. The little things are the things. If you start to appreciate the little things, the messages will start coming in subtle ways for you, beautifully, easily, effortlessly.
Yeah, totally agree. And, you know, I call it the sweet spot. We're in that sweet spot. And life's joyful. Doesn't matter what's going on. It's like that little voice in our head just cannot be bigger than this beautiful, soft, sweet spot that we're going through. So it's nice. So that's to me, that's what I put out there that I want, is like, let everything be shown to me. So and guys, look, I was going to ask you all, because you got, I think in the US you've just gone back onto your daylight savings time. So does this time suit you, or would you prefer it to be an hour later? So I think, like with Elisa's show, I think we'll do it at the 9. What time is it for you guys? At the 7 p.m. So just let me know, because for us here, it's 8 a.m. my time, Queensland time, and it's 9 a.m. for Nick, because New South Wales is on daylight savings. But we're going to come back into sync very soon. So, just let me know what would actually work best. And even if you're not watching the show live, make sure you let me know in the comments, and that way then we can work out like how many people would be able to like it to be at this time for you guys, which I think is 6 p.m, or would it be better at 7 p.m? So just let me know in the comments at some point. So but Oh, well, Nick, I think we're done. I don't know. That's my feeling. I
Yeah.
feel like we covered a lot today.
Yeah, I just wanted to give maybe a little tip for people, if it works for them or not. But often in my dreams, I get symbology that I don't understand. I think I spoke about it last week. We were talking about the runes, and I had another dream this week which talked about, which I knew it must have been something connected to I Ching, which is the
Yeah.
layering of broken and unbroken lines. If you see a synchronicity and you're not sure about, look up the meaning of it. And then that might be a stepping stone to something else, and the next thing, and the next thing. And then you'll start to really understand the connection and how it all ties in together. So you might have to do a little bit of research initially, but you will guide your own self towards the research that you need in order to open up that part into your awareness.
It's amazing. It's so true. Yeah, I think I don't know. I think we're all so different. We work differently, and I think it's it's about knowing that it's okay how we get that message too, which is perfect. So, well, okay. Well, everyone's just saying it doesn't matter. So Nick, I guess we can have a chat and just see what might work best for you, and and maybe Sarah as well when she's back on board. And yeah, so but keep putting it in, guys, even if you're watching this afterwards, and we'll have a look and see. So
if not, there's always the ethers at 4 or 6 a.m. in the morning.
I love it. I love it. Or if you're having a little nana nap, a cat nap at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that's fine. You can go there too.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
cool. So, Jasper didn't say much today. I'm sorry. He was actually really quiet today. So
Having a rest.
He's having a rest. Yeah, it's his rest morning. So, but and Elisa's not on tomorrow, guys. If you watch Elisa's show, she's off gallivanting in Sedona. So we will see you next week, and Nick's due to be back on next Monday. So we get more time with you, Nick, which is lovely.
You're probably sick of me. Somebody else come on.
No. Thank you for filling in, and I love it. I love that we've got the opportunity to have other people come through. But guys, like you guys, Kathleen, Lady Hawk, whoever, Trigel, jump on, like send me a little email and go, hey, yeah, okay, I'd love to come on with a dream or something, and we can pop you on with us. I'd love that. That'd be awesome. So but otherwise we will see you next week, and I'll let you know exactly what time it will be. I'll do that sort of fairly quickly over the next day or two once I've had some comments back from others as well. So, but thanks again, Nick, and big
thank you,
Sarah, and thanks everyone for being here.
And keep decoding, everybody.
Yes, keep doing that beautiful work. All right, ciao.
Bye.